Stock market today analysis for Valentine's Day, Tuesday, February 14th, 2023. In the description below of this video, you'll find a link to iofsuccess.com. You can download this material, check out this playlist. There's this playlist and other playlists are also in the description below of this video. Take a look at what this website is all about, and then at the 1 minute mark there's going to be a link to a video popping up that will give you 5 reasons why you should be selling cash secured put options. Because when you know why, the how-to becomes a lot easier. With these downloads and the different playlists I have for you, you should be able to figure out the how-to and put you in a position where you can at least start practicing it through paper trading. So that video is going to be popping up here at the 1 minute mark. You don't have to worry about watching it right now. Boom. Speaking of right now, there it is. You don't have to worry about watching it right now. Just remember 1 minute and come back. This video is going to be a little breakdown of what happened in the markets today. For your Valentine's Day present, they came out with the CPI numbers, which you know, if you can't get inflation down, just change the way you calculate it. That'll make it look better. It went from looking at 2 years at a time to 1 year at a time to make those numbers look better. Hey, you know, numbers don't lie, but the people that input the numbers sure as heck do. In the accounting world, they've got a phrase for this. It's called cooking the books. And that's how it goes. So the futures market, what the futures market is good for is having a lot of leverage, which I don't recommend you do. But I do recommend you take a look at it when the stock market is not open to give you an idea of what's going to happen in the stock market, potentially, right? And right now we see that this most current candle right here, this is happening while the markets are closed. These are the futures for the 4 main indices. We got the VIX popping up, and our current candle for the S&P 500 at the bottom of the body. Same over here for the Dow Jones, up on the top of the body for the NASDAQ, and at the bottom of the body for the Russell 2000, with the Russell and the S&P 500 looking really close to dojis. A little bit longer body over here with the Dow Jones, but it looks pretty indecision-ish. Besides right there, gold still remains moving lower after these big drops. Silver also. Bitcoin, you see it kind of spiked up. It's going sideways, dropped down, spiked up to be about halfway. It's still in the bottom 50% of this big drop right here on the third candle after this drop. And now it's trading in the top range of this. If it's going to keep going up, that would be good for the bulls. If it starts going down, that's going to be good for the bears. Crude oil still kind of just maintaining between this range of 82 and 72. And natural gas has kind of leveled out right through here. The 10-year treasury yield futures are also at like a wide range. It closed higher than it opened. Kind of a lot of indecision in there from these CPI numbers, it would appear. Let's take a look at not the futures, but just overall the general markets. These 3 we're going to bypass because we already looked at. The dollar continuing to move sideways, and that's it. Dropped down just a little bit. Not too much happening over the CPI today with the dollar. And TLT, see that moving down. The VIX really sold off hard, and but what we see here, it's not looking super correlated, right? We'd expect to see, like, if we got a sell off like this, we'd expect to see something candle like this going up, but we don't. We almost got an indecision candle here, so that is pretty interesting. We got more economic news coming out tomorrow. We got retail sales, manufacturing index, and then on Thursday we got the producer price index. And you know, regardless if these numbers are accurate or if they're if they brought them in the kitchen and cooked the books, regardless, whatever numbers they put out will have some sort of effect on what the markets do. What do we see going on here? Almost a doji right here, where it's traded up above where this candle closed, getting back to this 1450 area, but pulling back. And well, it could continue some upward movement, but it's not looking too strong. Same thing over here. The only difference is we got a red candle instead of a green candle, but this one is a little bit lower inside the body of its previous candle. Got some strength over here in the NASDAQ, still not making it to repair the damage from this big drop right here. And we're like in the top 50%. I don't know where that is exactly. It's about like, maybe there's like 25% more to go. With a candle like this, I think it might be able to make that tomorrow. We will see. And then seems like some momentum slowing down over here on the Russell 2000. Let's take a look at all the different sectors of the stock market. Just having a hard time getting these words out. With just kind of an eyeball glance here, it still appears maybe it's in this uptrend, but it seems like this uptrend, unless it really starts having a good movement tomorrow, maybe it seems to be going sideways here. So at some point, if it's not going to be moving up, if it's not really going to be having a upward move, then it just seems like it's been going sideways. We really dropped off today over here in healthcare, which is I don't know if depends where you want to draw your trend line at, but it's not looking bullish. We could say that. It doesn't look as bearish. It doesn't seem to be kind of flowing smoothly. This is the way that I would kind of look at it. Somewhere in there, it seems to be outside of that range. But there's time for it to come back down. And through here, we're kind of still in there, but we got this going on. So maybe it's gonna push up to the top. Over in the financials, does seem to have this sideways range going. Something, it's almost more like, I don't know what that's like. I don't know. Oh man, this kind of looks like it's just kind of doing the sideways shuffle at the moment over here in industrials. Basic materials, especially speaking of industrials, especially if you go from here over to here. I mean, it's almost exactly sideways, right? I get it, it's a little bit higher, but look at the whole trading range, right? It went down into here and closing. It's kind of splitting hairs, but closing at 102. Where was it? Must be opened up a little bit above 102, almost like right in there. So kind of sideways. And basic materials also, I get it, it's a little lower, but it hasn't really done much. It went down, it went up, and it kind of went back into this range again. So looking sideways too. Mine, whoever is stock markets, the Wolf of Wall Street, Gordon Gekko's. I don't know whose ETF this is, but the communication ETF had this gap up right here, sold off. Now it's kind of moving sideways for the last three candles, which is right back to where it started. These are some. Which ones are in here? If you ever want to know which what stocks are in an ETF, you can usually go to Yahoo Finance, put in whatever ETF you're looking for, go to holdings. It shows us the top 10%. Facebook, Google twice, Netflix, Charter, Comcast, T-Mobile, Disney, AT&T, and Verizon. Back sideways again. Look at this. Energy, basically sideways. Consumer discretionary, up. And it's just kind of been moving sideways. Consumer staples. I don't like this big drop. It's not really. We were looking at potentially some of these forming a W. I don't know where this W is. There we go. But it's not. Even though we got the right hand higher than the left hand, it's not breaking this point. That's happened quite a bit, actually, with a variety of these ETFs. And utilities continuing kind of go down, but moved up a little bit. Now it's kind of moving sideways right through there. Real estate had a little bit of a bull run and sold off a bit, kind of moving downward sideways-ish. Same thing with retail, but retail had a bit more of a less sideways and more down. Now it's kind of moving sideways. So looks like we might just kind of continue into a sideways trend. All right, so I keep talking about how we're getting up to this 420-ish area, right? We got our 420-ish area, we got our 400-ish area. We're almost right between. We ended last week at about 408. Now we're at 412. Let me see if this might make any difference. It's a lot more squiggly, isn't it? Let's take a look at on the daily. So, yep, it's the same, really the same thing. It's just less, a lot more squiggles. You can see a lot more of these little pivoting points where we had been moving up, kind of pulling back a little bit to this area right here. And Monday, where were we at Monday? It's the 9th. I think we're about right there. Okay, there was Monday. So pulled back a little bit from Monday, but not too much. Kind of got towards this 420, but so far it's like losing momentum. So when I'm watching to see what's going to happen around the 420, right now it's not happening around the 420. Now when it starts getting closer to that 420, it's moving away. It still possibly could get to that 420, but the longer it takes, then the longer it's taking to get to the 420, it's showing you that there's some weakness in that bull trend. But if it keeps moving towards the 420 and not towards the 400, then it's showing you that even though the bull trend is weak, it's still in a bit of a bull trend. And the way things have been going now, I wouldn't be surprised if it does make it to the 420 but pulls back, or maybe it's not going to make it to the 420. So let's watch and see. You guys have a fantastic Valentine's Day. Aloha.